system in place to keep us in chains. By show of hands, who else is sick and tired of the same? 1% try to keep us small, trying to keep us from getting out. Minimizing the struggles they've caused, saying we're not working hard enough.
We really should stop this fighting. Otherwise, we'll miss the fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks.
And here we go.
And welcome, everybody, to Suck It. I am the great and powerful King of Kings, Prince of all that is awesome, Derek. How the fuck is everybody tonight on this Thursday, November 19th of the horrible year that has been 2020? Woo! You know, we're 1 week away from Thanksgiving. You know, a little bit more than a month away from, Christmas, and then the end of the year is right around the corner. Man, this is crazy fucking shit. And this year has gone by so fast. I just can't even. It's crazy. It's crazy. But you know what? Between what we got going on here on the show, talking music, talking entertainment, talking, a little bit of everything. And, we're trying to get you through the rest of the year with a happy, happy dose of laughter and everything else in between. So, we'll kind of go from there and we'll have a little bit of fun in the process. And definitely don't forget December 11th, 6 p.m. East, 3 p.m. West, our charity concert for Toys for Tots, which is going to be a huge, massive event. Right now, we've got about 14 or 15 bands booked, probably about 12 comedians. Oh yeah, it's going to be fucking-sane. And I should release that information sometime next week on what everything is going on with that. So, but it's going to be an amazing night, raising money for Toys for Tots. And that's what we're all about here, awareness, advocacy, music, entertainment, a little bit of everything. And that's why we're unlike any other fucking show out there, and I appreciate that. But tonight, we have a special show for you tonight because, not only is the band that I'm bringing on to you just fucking badasses out of the Bay Area in California. But you know what? They just released a song today, or not today, but they released a song and a video, I think it was about a week ago, called Bipolar, which fucking fits in right fucking here. So we'll talk to them, and I want to talk a lot more, and all that other good stuff with the guys from the Happies. Please welcome them to the show. Yeah, unmute yourself, guys. Come on. You can do this. Come on.
What's up?
What's going on?
You're fucking crazy, man.
How the fuck are you guys?
Good. Great, man.
Good. We got some dogs here, and right now it's just me and Petty.
Yeah, and we're going to have the rest of the band here. But yeah, man, we're stoked to be talking to you and stoked to be talking to someone in Virginia, man, on the other side of the U.S., man. That's what we like. We're like kind of spreading it out across the U.S., so. Yeah. We're on, so. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Sorry about that.
There's Sanchez.
This is Alex. Sanchez,
What's going on?
Petty. This is Brett Brazil. And it's Ben. And I'm a singer-guitarist, bassist, singer, lead guitarist, backup singer, drummer, and backup singer. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I know that's a lot to.
No, I'm just saying it's fantastic that I have all you guys here with us tonight.
I know. What's up, brother? How we doing?
You know what? I could not be better. I live 45 minutes outside of DC where all the bullshit's happening. So you know what? I get to sit back and watch the chaos ensue and just watch the bullshit happen.
Better stay hunkered down over there, man.
Oh my God! I mean,
You look like a fucking grizzly, man. I think you can handle your shit.
But you know what? Not even my 6'1", 250-pound, frame was gonna go anywhere near DC at this moment in time. Fuck that.
I feel you, brother.
Not even to buy weed will I go to fucking DC. All right. So anyway, how's everything going for you guys?
It's good, man. We've been keeping busy. We've been doing some shows, and they're kind of like auction type shows where they're like out, you know, and like everyone's like spread out in a little square and type thing. And we're doing a lot of we're working on a new album, and we're gonna release a couple singles, and it's mental health based. So it's like for a lot of these things, like we had talked a little before, but with some of that, like I kind of think if you're like in the spotlight and shit, you should kind of get out of your comfort zone a little bit. So like I try to touch on the mental health shit that I had growing up and kind of just, you know what I mean, the same way other people do with other topics, and try to make it less like taboo and shit. Yeah, just trying to make like ADD or like, you know, the friend who's bipolar writing a song from their perspective, or writing a song from like, you know, I'm not going to do every single mental health thing, but I'm going to do the ones that pertain the most that I saw growing up and shit, you know?
And it's also good to get that conversation going, especially right now. Everyone's locked inside. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world, you know, and it's really important to get out and talk about it and address it and know that it's fine and you can move forward.
Yeah, I mean, right now suicide rates are higher than they ever have been. You know, people are just, you know, down and depressed. I mean, it's the worst it's ever has been. I mean, straight up, it's crazy. You know, as someone who deals with bipolar myself, also I deal with PTSD and extreme anxiety. You know, it's guys like you that are raising awareness that really, you know, bring a light to my eye. You know, whether it's, you know, you guys, same thing with Nothing More, you know, or Falling in Reverse, or Bad Flower, you know, all these songs that have been released in the last couple of years about suicide and depression and all this other stuff is, you know, so fucking badass. You know, man. I mean, I have a personal experience with the song Ghost from Bad Flower. That song was released, you know, what was it? You know, summer of 2018-ish. And if it wasn't for that song coming on in a certain moment in time, I would have, you know, ended up committing suicide. It was literally came on just as I was fucking in the process of getting ready to do it. And it's, you know, that song saved my life, and, you know, a lot of different things. But like, you know, that whole awareness bullshit is exactly what, you know, this show's about. You know, the whole idea behind Suck It, I told you I would tell you this, but the reason why I call my show Suck It is because as a kid, even as a teenager, and even into my 20s, I was always told to suck it up when I was dealing with my mental health and depression issues. Well, my response to them is suck it. So never tell me to suck it up.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, never tell me to suck it up. You go and suck it, because you don't know what the hell I'm dealing with. I can't just suck it up and move on. So fuck you, I'm done. You know, this is how we're going to deal with it, you know?
Yeah, dude, and big props on you for, you know, doing that and taking your voice and the position where you were at and making something like it, you know, making it positive and trying to just, you know, build people around you up.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole idea behind this show. I mean, yeah, we talk music. Yes, I talk entertainment and actors and actresses and everything else in between. But still, at the end of the day, the central theme, even though I might not talk about it every day, is mental health awareness, because I want people to come to my show and know that they're not alone. I want people to come to my show, and even though I didn't talk about it that day, they still know that I deal with depression and anxiety, and I can come on here every day and talk to famous people or indie people or whatever the case might be, and have a normal conversation, a normal life, and let them realize that they're not alone and they can handle it too.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I can't think of anything better to do like with mental health than to raise awareness, and
a lot more people suffer from it than even actually will realize is the thing.
Yeah, I was on lithium before, and I had to do the blood tests and all that shit, you know, and I think the conclusion I came to was like I had like anxiety, and I had this depression thing that and I'm speaking about it even though, like, you know, I don't want to, but it was like a genetic thing that came down where, you know, like certain people in my family, they'd be in a room for a couple days, like dark ass room, you know, and then it would take them a couple days to get out, and just kind of under a blanket and shit, you know. And for me, I think that I felt bipolar because when I would get out of the depression and face some shit, I felt really good. So I felt like this up and down type of thing, and I really think like these are weird times where like shit's really cool and inspiring, and then like you said, you know, people are really struggling to hold on to their sanity and shit, and they're getting really depressed. So I think that like the video and stuff was kind of a way of like trying to exhibit that vibe, and like, but like not too heavy, because you know,
We're the happies.
well, we're the happies, and just like people got a lot of shit to deal with, you know, like upstairs or whatever, like whether they're working a 9 to 5 or whether they're musicians. It's just, it's you know, it's weird times. It's like you said, man, it's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest time I've ever seen, and I think it'll be a really cool thing when we're out of it for a while. But as of now, it's an up and down.
It is, and you know, I'm hoping that, you know, in the coming months, hopefully this vaccine does something, or the 2 different vaccines that we have. You know, one from Pfizer and one from Moderna. One's 95% effective, one's 90%. But at the same time, I don't know how effective it's really going to be in the mass population. So, you know, I'm kind of hesitant with it. But at the same time, it's a hope. It's a, you know, it's a, you know, because, you know,
I'll take it. I'll fucking take it. And if I turn weird and mutant or some shit, then I'll just do the government, you know?
Yeah, I'll just monitor you, and we'll kind of go from there.
That's what I'm saying. Let the first wave people. Let's see how they do.
Yeah.
Dude, it would be a huge lawsuit if I do have faith that the vaccine would be all right. That's me personally. Like, I'm not speaking for the band or whatever, but I think it would be fine. I mean, essentially, it seems like a cold medicine or a flu. You get a little bit of the flu, and
it's just like a really serious cold medicine. It's like NyQuil.
Yeah,
NyQuil CV, dude.
Yeah, it's NyQuil cold and Corona, you know.
NyQuil 19.
Chug a couple bottles, see what happens.
But with all seriousness, with the vaccine,
let us know.
It's like some
Please.
shit.
Please let us know.
Dude, let me ask you something. What was your impression when you first saw the Bipolar video? You know, coming from your background, I mean, was it like inspiring?
What did you interpret it?
So I had to listen and watch the video 3 times.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool.
Because a couple different reasons. I wasn't expecting the type of music that it was. I wasn't expecting that punk sound. So that was kind of threw me for a loop. So I had to kind of pay attention to it. Because I'm the metal guy. I'm the hard rock, you know, metal guy. And so that kind of threw me off. And then, you know, the first time I listened to it, I was like, okay, this is a great jam song. Where's the message? And I had to listen to it again. Then it's like a third time to actually get that message. Hold on one second. You need my keys to get the mail. Well, come get them. Say hi to the world.
Wow. You can't help him get his keys.
Now I lost my train of thought. Oh, so once I listened to the song the third time, I got you know, I really kind of got the message. Because at first I was like, you know, the line, you know, they call me bipolar, however it goes. You know, I was like, you know, is he saying that he is, or is he just saying that everybody thinks he is? So then once I listened to it again and again, I was like, okay, got it. And it really hit me that third time.
Nice. That's how I am with a lot of music too. Like, I don't really like some music.
You take different pieces away each time, right?
Like,
yeah, every time I did. And then, you know, I mean, let's look at it. I mean, since we're talking, you know, mental health, you know, let's look at that same, another mental health song that came out in December of last year, which is one of the biggest hits of the year, which was Falling Green versus Popular Monster. The first time I heard that song was, you know, obviously Ronnie Radke loves to rap and, you know, all this other shit. And at first I didn't like the song. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then after like the 7th or 8th time, I finally said, I'm like, hey, obviously people are loving this song. What am I not getting? And I sat down and I actually listened to it and I'm like, holy shit. And then because of that song, I went back and I listened to the whole catalog of shit. I still can't stand Ronnie Radke, but I love Falling in Reverse. But so I mean that happens sometimes, and that happens with any song. But I just kind of use that as another comparison. But that whole understanding the message, because you can enjoy the music, you can enjoy all that other stuff, but if you're listening for the message behind it, then it takes you that couple times to really kind of find that meaning for yourself, because it can mean 4 different things to the 4 of y'all, and then means something completely different to me. So it took me those 3 times to really kind of really start vibing and really get the point of it. And let me tell you what, that 3rd time really, really hit me.
Thank you, man.
Right on,
Thank
man.
you, man. Yeah, and again, I have a lot of friends who had bipolar and stuff, and then I grew up. I was had an opiate addiction, and so in recovery, like you find a lot of bipolarity from the opiate addiction and all that, and I was finding a lot of just my friends that had bipolar, and some of them struggle more with it, and to this day, some of them don't really struggle at all. They take the med, it works. But yeah, man, it was. I wrote the song too quite a while ago, a long time ago. I want to say 2011. I started kind of the foundation of the song, and then my homie Dana wrote the 2 voices in the head part. I had a B part and an A part. And he wanted to put this thing out or whatever, and have a C part. And to me, 2 voices in my head, to me that was kind of more like schizophrenia per se, the way when I thought I was bipolar, it was more of a vibe. It wasn't seeing something. It was more of a internal crash and an eternal mania and all that. So, but it sounded cool, man. It was 50s, and I know he had struggled with mental health and a lot of shit. So, I just want to give credit where credit due too to the homie who came up with that one part too. But yeah,
kind of like Nirvana's MTV Unplugged.
Yeah.
What about it? What about
You heard of that? You know the
Yeah,
MTV Unplugged?
They're funny because I fucking love Nirvana Unplugged. It's my favorite album.
Anytime we play a song and he's trying to explain to us how to play it, he's like, it's like on MTV.
It's about a girl. Or
He's
it's
we're recording the album, and he's like, the producer's like, so what sound are we going for here? He's like, yeah, so MTV Unplugged Nirvana, that set.
I like a lot of Nirvana shit, man. I did one time. I got to see Kurt Cobain's bedroom one time over in Aberdeen, Washington. And I was like, I met his uncle. Yeah, I met his uncle. I was over. His house was for sale. He grew up in, and I was smoking a doob and taking a picture in front of it on the porch. And then the uncle comes up in a black Corvette. Shout out Clark. And he fucking so you want to come in? And I was like, fuck yeah, I want to come in. Sick, man.
You want to hear something fucked up that you're not gonna like?
Yeah.
I do not like Nirvana.
Hey man, some people don't like Nirvana, man. Some people don't like Nirvana. It's the same with some metal I can't stand. Some metal I think is really dope, but
I'm the same way.
Metal is for me was always that shit to wake up when I was just fucking not feeling getting up or life in general. It was that shit to inspire me to get my ass up and fucking get moving and shit.
Yeah, I was just never the biggest Nirvana guy. I mean, I was more of a Pearl Jam guy, but at the same time, I was never really into the whole grunge movement.
A lot of them weren't even into it.
I mean, not even Soundgarden was considered grunge, and that I didn't really consider them grunge. They were more progressive metal or
grunge either.
Yeah, I mean, they were more progressive than anything. But I was more of a Pearl Jam guy. But even then, only 10 and Anthology were my things that I liked.
Yeah.
I can't go back and listen to this Dinosaur and all that other shit that they did in the late 90s, early 2000s. No, it's just those 2 albums. We're good to go. But I've always been, like I said, the metal hard rock guy. And for me, there's only and the thing about it is with metal, there's so many subgenres of metal and so many subgenres of rock and so many subgenres of punk and all this other shit. It's you can't keep it all straight. And some of it's absolute garbage, like you were saying, and some of it's fantastic. And I just consider myself just a hard rock guy. If it's hard and heavy, that's all I give a shit about. If plus I also I like to have a melody. That's having a little bit of a melodic tone to it. makes it worthwhile. Like some of that death metal and deathcore stuff. It's like don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it has that tone and it makes me feel a certain way, I'll listen to it all day long. I mean, my taste in rock goes from Avenged Sevenfold and Volbeat to Ginger and Knocked Loose to fucking Paramore. I mean, even though Paramore I consider like a guilty pleasure, just because Hayley Williams is so fucking hot.
That's every punk kid's dream when you're like 17, 18, or
Ben, scoot
20,
over a little bit.
whatever. You're like, I want
Get
to
in
be
the middle a
with
little
him.
more.
I mean, the first time I ever heard the song Crush, 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 I was like, oh my God, okay. And then I went and saw the video for it. I'm like, okay, I'm in love with this chick. This is it.
No, Paramore.
Paramore. No, Hailstorm is Lizzie Hale. And she's another fucking gorgeous human being, too.
Dope name.
Yeah.
They're all hot, man. My girlfriend wouldn't like this, but they're all fucking
But you know what? That's the thing about metal and rock. Every single front woman or even bass player or whatever, we just have fucking gorgeous ass women in this fucking genre. Whether it's Hayley Williams from Paramore or Lizzie Hale, like we just said, or Maria Brink from In This Moment, or Tatiana from Ginger, or even Joan Jett has aged well. I mean, she looks fucking great in her 50s. I mean, so we have some great even fucking Stevie Nicks. That chick has done so much fucking coke, she has a hole in her nose, but she still looks fucking gorgeous for her age. But I mean, I think that's one of the great things about rock is we have some beautiful women that are powerful, strong women too. That will knock you the fuck out and tell you like it is. I love that about this genre.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah.
I actually find myself listening to more female-driven bands than male-driven bands these days.
I like a lot of indie shit, like I don't know, you may have like Blonde Redhead. Have you ever heard of Blonde Redhead? And there's some like weird kind of like I like I don't know. What are some like fronted female bands you guys
Four Non Blondes. I was on a Four Non Blondes kick.
Our manager worked with them.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That's pretty sad.
He has a really special.
I mean,
It was like randomly, too. My girlfriend was listening to one song, and I was like, I wonder what their other shit sounds like, and just delved into it.
Yeah, I've done that before too. I haven't done it in a while, but they were really good back in the day. And it's too bad they were only known for that one song.
Yeah.
What the hell was the name of that song anyway? What's going on, or it was something else, right?
Oh yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, that's it.
And I said, you ever hear that shit live, man? She's fucking going in like
Dude, the Cranberries.
Cranberries were legends, man.
Oh my God, when Dolores passed away, what was it, 2018? Dude, I was broken up about it. But what got me even more was the whole. I don't know if you guys are aware. But like during that whole ordeal, that Bad Wolves released that cover of and do you know the whole ordeal behind that?
No.
So the day that they were going in to record that song with her, she had passed away.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
So Tommy Vexed and the rest of Bad Wolves and even Zoltan from who's their manager from Five Finger Death Punch was like, guys, I don't know if we should still do this. But they were like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go ahead and do it. Anyway, we'll dedicate it to her, and all the profits from this single release, we'll go ahead and give it to her family.
That's I think always the way to go, man. You know what I mean? Because
so when that shit hit the fucking airwaves, dude, that shit hit me hard. And then 2 weeks ago, watching fucking Miley Cyrus do that fucking cover of it. I don't know if you've seen that yet. Oh my God.
Was it good?
Whiskey, it was sick, bro.
It was one of the best things. I mean, Miley Cyrus, I had no idea, what she was capable of. But I saw last year at Glastonbury Festival, she did a cover of Nothing Else Matters from Metallica. Yeah. And I was impressed by that. And then,
like classic,
and then she just did Zombie 2 weeks ago for the Whiskey A Go-Go charity event. And I was
Yeah,
blown away
okay.
by that. And I found out later that right now she's in the process of making a Metallica's covers album.
Really?
Yeah, sick.
Dead serious. This
I
chick
got
is
to work-
converting.
I got to work for Metallica for a tiny bit, packaging their books and shit, like, because they're in the Bay Area. And actually, James Hetfield had lived in Novato down the street from me growing up and shit. And I had no idea, you know, like when you're a kid, you don't really understand. But my boy Jordan was a huge metalhead and shit. And he liked more like Pantera and I'm trying to think like Opeth and Dream Theater and shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just cool to think, you know, like Hetfield, this fucking metal guy was in Marin, you know. It was just crazy shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Miley Cyrus is dope. She got a surgery on her throat too, which I thought was kind of crazy. What is that called when they like
Tear their vocal cords?
No, the folds are all beat in their throat, so they gotta like stitch it to make them. It's the thing, dude. He just had to get.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I don't know.
It's just some real shit.
Well,
No.
Matt Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold had the same surgery.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And then Matt Heafy from Trivium had the same surgery as well. Yeah, because they've all blown out their fucking vocal cords from
Talking a lot too. If you're coked up after singing a lot, your shit just smoking too. All that combined is just horrible, dude.
Yeah.
That's why I'm quiet. That's why I'm quiet, bro. I want my fucking shit to sound good, you know. Well, yeah,
Nothing wrong with that. I mean,
coke
That's
throat.
the
When you
farthest
just
thing
get
from
that
the
like, and it's just rasped.
Sometimes
it
I'm
never is,
quiet,
like, a
bro.
clean
Sometimes I'm
note.
pretty quiet.
It kind of sounds like sometimes.
I mean, you know, back in the 80s and 90s, everyone aspired to be just like, you know, Axl Rose. But nowadays, you know, nobody wants to be that guy who, you know, who leaves a concert right in the middle of a show, goes to the back, lights up a cigarette, snorts a line of coke, starts drinking wine, and looks at everybody and goes, "Yeah, my throat hurts." what the fuck do you expect?
I heard that story. What do you think about
that was the Canada story, yeah.
You ever get into Shannon Hoon at all from Blind Melon? That guy, he grew up with Axl Rose and shit, and in that town, Indianapolis, right? Or no, I mean Indiana, right?
Indiana, yeah.
There's only like 1,000 people in that town though, bro. And then Blind Melon got kind of big from like fucking Shannon Hoon's sister knew Axl Rose, so they already had this kind of like
internal connection.
they had a fucking kind of foot in the door, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But I've been getting into like Blind Melon, the original shit a lot. I really thought Shannon Hoon was kind of gone too soon. And so rest in peace to the homie.
I mean, there were so many that were gone too soon. You know, whether it's Shannon Hoon or the guy from Sublime.
We know,
yeah, or the other guy from Spit, or excuse me, not Spit, Snot from Snot, who died in the early 2000s as well. I mean, there's been so many just that are gone too soon. I mean,
yeah, it's fucked, man, and it's hard to tell where, like, not getting too into it, but just like where the drug shit or it's a suicide, like I don't know, but pretty much, yeah, it's just a weird thing. A lot of it is fentanyl is killing people like crazy. Fentanyl killed Prince and Tom Petty and fucking the Cranberries singer.
Yep.
And all those rappers, Little Xan, like the list, dude, it goes on and on. Fentanyl is a horrible drug. That's really dangerous if it's like, and they put it in pills, so these kids are taking what they think is Xanax, and then they're high as fuck, and they're like, I'm about to die. And that type of shit has happened way too much. It's way stronger than heroin. It's like 100 times stronger than fucking heroin.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't even have a chance to get resuscitated or whatever, you know, unless you have like 10 things of Narcan. So
yeah, I mean, the two that killed me the most were, as far as too soon, was Michael Jackson and Prince. Because those two were my, you know, gateway to music in general.
Yeah.
You know, the first song I ever remember listening to as a kid was Thriller. And then I heard, next thing I know, I'm listening to this song called Purple Rain. I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know, and I'm seeing this dude in a purple fucking, you know, suit with ruffles and hot chicks looking like a fucking pirate up on stage.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then that transitioned into Metallica for me. So it's like, those three right there are like my meccas of like, stuff like that. And they're the bar to reach as far as, musically goes. And I think there's only been one band in my generation that has reached that, and that would be Avenged Sevenfold.
Dude, they crush it. I was obsessed.
I loved them.
The first 4 albums were like,
absolutely. I mean, to be totally honest with you, Avenged Sevenfold is my favorite band of all time. I actually have a Death Bat tattoo with
oh, yeah, really?
Yeah, I do. And then I also have the for Jimmy the Rev Sullivan, I have the Forever, tattoo for it too.
He's another guy that was too soon, man.
Another too soon.
That was an overdose, right?
Yeah, it was an overdose.
Yeah.
You ever like System of a Down? Anybody? I used to fuck System of a Down like young. I fucking love that. Was
one
my
of the
first heavy
like,
band.
Rock bands that like a CD that I knew I was definitely not allowed to buy that I went.
I remember singing the lyrics. I had this thing in my head, and then it was like the song Needles or something. I'm sitting in my room with a needle in my hand, and my friend's dad is like, "Do you know what you're singing?"
You can't.
And I just remember being like, not really.
See, that song for you guys was my generation's Closer by 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
I want to fuck you like my mom walked in like, what the fuck are you listening to, Derek? Like, I don't even know, Ma. What the hell is this?
Yeah, what did they say? Can you explain it to me?
Dude, that's another dope band, man. They had a lot of fucking influence. I mean, with even Johnny Cash and all hella people, man. They were a very interesting band.
Yeah, I mean, I was never a big 9 Inch Nails fan. I was a Trent Reznor fan because I thought he was a great composer, and he's a great musical mind. But as far as the sound and stuff that 9 Inch Nails put out, I mean, while great musically, just wasn't my thing at all.
It's just strange. Yeah, it's a little strange and shit.
Yeah, I was never a big fan of the industrial sound. I mean, there was a few bands that had that industrial sound, like Static X had a little bit of an industrial sound. That I loved. Wayne Static was another one, gone too soon.
He was the dude with all the piercings.
Isn't that him?
No. Static X was another one, but I'm trying to think of this.
Power Man 5?
No.
Another type of
Unfortunately, Power Man 5000 is still around.
A song from Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Scream 3 got me into a lot of that shit. A lot of that fucking variety shit.
Yeah, unfortunately, Spider and Power Man 5000 are still around.
Spider, System of a Down is a fucking dope song. We have a song Spider too that has nothing to do with it, but shout out Spider, System of a Down.
That's a great song.
Pretty dope too, though.
It is pretty dope though. So search back the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean that's. Man, I can sit here and talk music with you guys all day long. This is fucking fantastic. And that's another thing, I told you I was going to talk to you guys about here, but like where I'm at in Virginia, man, there is so much good local indie talent around here. Sure. I mean, it's crazy. Especially with our brewery scene that we have here. I mean, there's breweries here and where I'm at are like fucking 7-Elevens. There's one on every corner. And they're all big enough to have an acoustic set come in or, just whatever the case might be. There's always now, obviously not right now, but, prior to COVID, you cannot go into a brewery without seeing some type of live set going on. It was so much good music, so much just fantastic stuff. And we have so many great venues around here. Like our big one in my area is we have something called Jiffy Lube Live, which is similar to the Hollywood Bowl. It's kind of the same setup. And then we have the Baltimore Sound Stage, which is a great indie band location. And then we got a couple in Silver Springs, Maryland. And then obviously we have the Mecca, which is the one that's owned by Dave Grohl in DC.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Dave Grohl's from Virginia and shit. Yeah, he's one of the members. The drummer before that was from Santa Rosa, or was born in Santa Rosa. What's his name? Chad Channing. But yeah, Dave Grohl's from fucking Virginia. And dude, he helped me when my dad died. Like, I listened to the Foo Fighters because I needed something kind of like innocent, but like still kind of like cool. Like Nirvana was.
That's a good way of putting it.
I hate to say it, Nirvana was and Alice in Chains, all the grunge shit was too depressing. When my dad died, it was like I couldn't be that sad and listen to sad shit at the same time. So Foo Fighters was a great like. It really fucking helped me to kind of like cope with the grieving of my dad in a weird way. So
I can definitely understand that. I mean,
and
Dave
Journey-
Grohl. I mean, Dave Grohl is a fucking music god. I
He
mean,
did
there's
that.
no two ways around it. I mean, what he went through with obviously the passing of Kurt to writing that first album of Foo Fighters by himself and then literally recording every single part by himself and then bringing on members of the band after he had already released the fucking album was insane to me. And then what he's done since then, I mean,
he's like a great person. He you always see footage of him pulling people on stage. He's like always trying to bring up young musicians and really
and he gives away his guitar every fucking time too.
He keeps it real too, and I'll say some shit like he won't always just be like, so many fucking people are so fake, dude. You know what I mean? Like they're just like doing what their management wants and shit and all that. So like, and doing all that type of stuff. And I just feel like he kind of keeps it real. There's some bands that keep it just pretty legit and just kind of like they are who they are. They're not fake. And like I think a lot of times he's just a funny dude. Drinking on the stage, falls over, knocks the fucking beer on his hand. He's just a funny motherfucker, man. He's a cool dude. Cool dude.
Yeah, he is. I mean, but God, I mean, there's just so many good, and that's why whenever I hear anyone ever say rock is dead, I laugh at them. I've had this conversation a bunch of different times over the last couple weeks, and I always play devil's advocate. But this conversation, I feel the need to talk it up again. Whenever I talk to somebody, I always play the devil's advocate. Like, well, what about this guy? Or these people are, they're not doing this, or whatever the case might be. But this conversation needs to be, outspoken with the fact that rock is not dead. I mean, not at all. I mean,
not looking in the right place. That's what it is.
Exactly.
I can go even further and say like, rock will never be dead because suburban kids on drugs or suburban suicidal kids will unfortunately probably not go away, but probably increase. So
we need to capitalize on that.
No, I'm just saying, like, I genuinely don't ever see rock going away ever. Yeah. At all.
Absolutely not.
Pivot or do some changes or some shit, but yeah.
Exactly. All right, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. So just kind of bear with me for a moment. I'm gonna run 3 commercials and we'll be right back. All right.
What's up?
Tonight's episode is brought to you by
Good job,
BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an app that allows you to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, connect with your therapist to make sure that you're getting the best help possible. BetterHelp is different in the fact that you don't have to go to your Cigna or Blue Cross Blue Shield website, look through thousands and thousands of therapists in your area that may or may not be accepting new patients, and then have to wait weeks upon weeks to get into that waiting room, and then wait an hour or two to get to see that person in that waiting room, only to find out that you don't connect on that personal level, and they're not what you need. BetterHelp avoids all that. They connect you with a therapist, and then you can choose right away whether or not you like them and decide whether or not you want to get a different one. BetterHelp is different because of that. And when you go to betterhelp.com/SIPod, you get 10% off your first month. BetterHelp is the best therapy app out there today. There's nothing better. And I'm so grateful to have connected with them because I use them. And as someone who speaks from a mental health perspective who has bipolar, it helps me every day. And I hope that they can help you as well. As a matter of fact, I know they can. So again, do yourself a favor, go to betterhelp.com/SIPod for 10% off your first month. BetterHelp. You can't go wrong. Hey guys, have you ever wondered how you can help support the channel and look cool at the same time? Do yourself a favor, go to dckproductions.com/shop and get yourself some of the coolest apparel out there. Whether you just want one of our basic logos in a t-shirt or hoodie form, or whether or not you want to get one of our great graphic tees that are just funny as hell. And also, just released is our brand new line of mental health shirts, which help raise awareness, and 25% also go to charity. So please do yourself a favor. Again, go to dckproductions.com/shop for the best apparel out there. Thank you very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's episode is also brought to you by manscaped.com, where right now you guys can go to that website and get some of the best manscaping products on the market today, including this right here, the Lawnmower 3.0. What's this, you ask? Not only is it the best manscaping device for your chest, your balls, your shaft, everything, your taint, but it's also completely waterproof, and with skin-safe technology, it prevents nicks, cuts, and all the other stuff in between. And when you go to manscaped.com right now, you can get this awesome product inside the Perfect Package 3.0, which includes these lovely little cleanup pads which you can stand on in the bathroom and not have to worry about getting your pubes everywhere. It also includes ball toner, which they call a crop reviver, which helps prevent chafing and ingrown hairs. But then also a ball deodorant. That's right, ball deodorant. Help keep those man bits fucking smelling fresh all day long. And also, not pictured here, because I'm fucking wearing them, is a nice nylon breathable pair of boxers that are so freaking comfortable. That entire package, again, which includes the Lawnmower 3.0, is only $99.99. And when you use promo code SUCKITPODCAST at checkout, you get 20% off and free shipping. But then that's not only it. They also have another package called the Performance Package, which includes the Weed Whacker, which is a freaking nose and ear hair trimmer. And that's $119.99. Again, 20% off of that. That's a great deal. Perfect for the holidays. Christmas is right around the corner. Get yourself this amazing package to keep your package looking fantastic. Again, that's manscaped.com, promo code SUCKITPODCAST for 20% off your entire order plus free shipping. Trust me when I say your balls will thank you. All right, we're back.
Hey.
All right. Sorry about that. I had to pay bills.
It's all good, man. We went really quick and just got tugged off real quick. And it's, I'm just joking, sorry.
No, hey, if you can pull it off in 3 minutes, more power to you.
I'm gonna miss, bro. I just
So, back to the conversation we were just talking about, as far as, rock being dead.
Yeah.
Here in the States, granted, it's not as big as it is, across the pond over in, Europe and shit like that, where, rock is king,
yeah, it is.
Rap and pop, pop is just as big as rock over there, but, rap is nowhere near what it is over there. R&B obviously is an American thing, but still, rock is king, across the pond. And, I'm just hoping that one day we can get to the point where, our festivals are as big as Download Fest or Rock Am Ring or Glastonbury and stuff like that. Those huge ass festivals that I hope that someday can be as big here. I mean, yeah, Coachella's a huge festival, but it doesn't get nearly the amount of people that, Download gets. Or, Aftershock, same thing.
Outside Lands is all right, and they got Napa. Bottle Rock is kind of chill, but we're working on a fucking Bay Area scene, man. I'm seeing a lot of emerging artists in the Bay Area and like a resurgence, kind of like a '90s, '60s fucking fusion thing, and it's been pretty sick, man. But yeah, it's like again, I really think things change, and I think hip hop got really popular because there's like the sex, the drugs, the all that type of shit. It's just part of like human nature. And, that's in rock too, and it's just like, again, like there's a lot of, there's a lot of people out there that are really expressive people. And the second that they get out or they get a deal or a break, I've had some friends get famous. This kid, 24 Karat Golden, this kid, Frank Lopes, Hobo Johnson, he was in Sacramento. He kind of merged this thing of like spoken word over, it's like rap, but it's not rap. So I'm seeing like a change. I'm seeing a change, and
new music,
new
genres actually.
I'm seeing new genres arise.
Subgenres.
I'm seeing people fuse rap and rock, and then like up to 4 genres now in alternative rock, and I'm just seeing a change.
Oh yeah, I mean 100%. Because I'm also hearing, I'm watching these interviews and reading some of these interviews with some of these big rappers who are big metalheads. Obviously Post Malone. We're not going to talk about Post Malone because that's an obvious one. But like, yeah, I mean, but like,
I know you don't.
Obviously Ice-T as well with Body Count. But I mean, there's so many that are just huge metal guys, and it's like, why aren't you coming over to this genre then? Because they know that the money's in rap, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man. It's where the money's at. Like a lot of artists are like, I just want to be an artist and I'll make it in whatever. You know what I mean? So they'll just pick those trendier, sort of poppier genres or rap pop genres because you can make money. And there's a lot of it. You know what I mean? It's sellable to people in the music industry.
Correct.
So it's just a harder sell with rock because there's so much, and like we're talking about, so many subgenres. Like rap is only just starting in the past like 10, 15 years to get a subgenre. Rap
Correct.
is,
Yeah.
Well, not really.
Well, I mean, because it's kind of started with
popping like 30 years,
but it was just like rap.
It became a trend to be like that.
Alternative rock per se is like probably around hip hop. Like if you think about it, like because hip hop, they even had some shit in the 70s and shit. Like I don't know, hip hop is kind of
rap is just, I feel like, one of the newer and quote unquote in the genres in the big picture of things, right? Like you've had it in the 90s and a little bit in the 80s, but like that's the start. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because it started with, like the Sugar Hill Gang with the hippity hop, that song right there.
And in New York, there were those poetry circles and shit.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, and then Public Enemy, but even Public Enemy in the 80s did a crossover song with Anthrax. They were the first ones to fuse metal and rap together. So I mean, it's always been around and it's always been doing stuff, and I just think it just doesn't get the recognition it deserves anymore. Because again, like you were saying before, it was all about chicks and drugs and alcohol. And that's why fucking the hair metal was so popular in the 80s. And then, kind of rap kind of took that over, unfortunately, because, all these fucking guys with little in front of their name and then use a drug name. And,
first grunge, though, fucking just kind of wiped the palette, like Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and fucking Alice in Chains and Nirvana and what was it called? Mother Love Bone. And
Mother Love Bone, yeah.
Right? A lot of those 90s bands kind of wiped the fucking hair metal. And then, exactly how you're saying, like Little Xan and all those people, they came. And I'm not even hating, I think anybody who's like a character and shit, like I respect the hustle and shit. I just personally think that there's a inner thing in people that, and it's like, I believe in authenticity, and with like, to some degree, it's going to be hard for them to keep authenticity. They're going to have to do a lot of shit, and it's going to kind of rub off as fake, or kind of like pop music, how like it comes up and it's really dope and it's fucking everywhere. Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys, all that shit. It was really fat. And then it's fucking like
gone.
What the fuck? Like, why you have fucking pink hair and like shit's written all over your face or whatever, Like, it's one of those things probably,
Yeah.
But I do like Post Malone. He's talented, man. He's a good guitarist. He's a good singer. Post Malone's dope. I have hella
is.
respect for Post Malone. Yeah.
Oh, I've got mad respect for him too. But that, like I said, that one's the obvious one because everyone knows that he's a metalhead.
Yeah. You got a great scream.
Yeah, I mean, you go and if you listen to any like interview inside of his bus, I mean, he's always got Megadeth blaring or something else behind him, just rocking out. Dude's a badass.
Yeah, he is. He is a badass, but he also respects the culture of rock and roll, which I have respect for. Like a lot of the people don't even know old music, but Post Malone like knows more about some rock than some rock stars do. So that I like that about him too. And,
yep. And the fact that he did a duet with fucking Ozzy was fantastic.
Yeah, that was. I heard your podcast on that actually too, man. That was a good podcast. I like that. But yeah, I think
So what was that else, Tyler?
yeah, like a lot of I don't know that. There's a thing with like everything's digital, right? Like everything's digital, everything's really quick and shit. I would say deep down in my core, there's a thing of like we all know we can make things get really fucking digital. We can start like living in like a fucking thing with what are they called? Those fucking goggles, VR and all that shit.
Yeah.
But it's like we're robbing ourselves of the fucking experience of innocence and life and shit of like intermingling with people and shit like that. And I think rock music has something that shit doesn't, where it's like it can't be edited as much or like auto-tune sticks out more and like. So I like Foo Fighters and all that type of shit because they record on tape a lot and shit, like analog, and like I like the authenticity in rock. And what I'm getting at is that there's going to be some show these motherfuckers forgot their auto tune or the fucking soundboard's broken, and they're going to be like, dude, you fucking suck. Like,
I left my auto tune in the truck.
Not only do you have like talent, but you're really fucking like lacking, like lackluster. So yeah, I don't know.
That's happened already.
Yeah.
Who was it? Shit.
The Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera?
Or the Simpson.
It was a big one.
Yeah, it was this Jessica Simpson's sister.
Yeah,
that was the
Ashley Simpson.
Ashley, yeah.
Bad for her, bro.
They made fun of her on Family Guy, dude.
The entertainer in me felt bad. Like the human in me was laughing, but the entertainer is like Dave Chappelle said on Kramer, he's like, that was a fucked up. The comedian in me was like, that's a fucked up set.
Yeah, and then she goes and blames it on, the band started playing the wrong song. I'm like, no, they weren't.
Like, if you had talent to begin with, this wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
There's a difference between straight up lip syncing and having a backing track just to make sure you don't fuck up.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
She was just straight up lip syncing, and you can tell right away. I mean, she pulled a Milli Vanilli. I mean, that's what she ended up doing.
Yeah. We've all been to a show, like, you guys been to a show where they're like barely even rapping, like a rap show. It's like the thing's just playing the whole time.
Yeah, in the background, and they're just accent. Yeah,
they're coked the fuck up, like.
Yeah, they just emphasize those little things.
It's like, bro, well, you're getting paid for this shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it's
those
like
come on
and mixed for their track on a MP3 player, like play it,
Yeah,
but yeah,
and then they just come on every once in a while, hit the mic power button, and go, "Hey, come on, guys, let me hear you," and then they turn it off again.
Dude, so was there also any questions that you want? I know we're getting close on time. Was there any questions or any?
Well, here's the thing. So the whole idea behind my show is, Mike is gonna set you up with a bunch of fucking interviews, podcasts, and shit like that. They're gonna talk about that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I want my audience to know who you guys are personally. Why you guys are here, what your influences are, what makes you tick. And that's what we've been talking about the last hour. Yeah, we talked about Bipolar and why you guys did that song and stuff like that. But you know what? We could talk that all day long about, your inspiration and stuff like that. But you know what? Let Steve or Bill's podcast down the road, let them talk to you about that. Because we're not going to talk about that here. We're going to promote your shit because that's obviously why we're here. But at the same time, again, with that mental health, underlying, thing, I want people to really know who the fuck you guys are and give them a reason to listen to you. Yeah, your music might be great, but you might be a dick. So what the fuck do I want to listen to you for? But you guys just basically said that you guys are, without even really saying it, you guys, are know your fucking music, you know your shit, you have reasons behind what you're doing, and you're passionate about what you do. So aside from the sound of your music and all that other stuff, just based on this hour-long conversation just about that kind of stuff, that's what's going to drive people to listen to you guys. You know, of the 45,000 people that are going to download this fucking podcast over the next week and a half, you know what? That's what's going to drive them. You know, not what. Well, you know, I'm a big inspiration from Alice in Chains. I mean, you know, I just love Alice in Chains so much. You know, it's like, okay, great. You know, or, you know, you know, you could be talking about, you know, your love of Kurt Cobain and Nirvana forever, but, you know.
That's refreshing. A lot of people have an agenda, you know what I mean? And you just get caught up in the staleness of that. Like, you can't even riff off of other people. You're stuck like, I think because this, you know, and
for real,
it's refreshing to just have a real conversation.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, I literally don't take any notes. You know, I will read enough about you guys, which is literally 2 or 3 sentences of the press release and the media kit. And I will read just enough and then listen to the song that just got released. And then that's where I start my conversation. Everything else I want to know from you guys is going to come out of your mouth. I didn't go to your website and read about me and all that other stuff. I didn't listen to any other song. I wanted to just listen to one song and then kind of figure out who you guys are from there. And then I'm going to go back in and listen to more stuff. You know, because, I mean, that's the way I'm doing it is the way I want my listeners to do it. You know, they're going to leave the podcast going, oh, let me go listen to that song Bipolar, which, by the way, is in the description of the video and the podcast. So they'll go and listen to that, and then they'll be like, okay, these guys are fucking awesome. Let me listen to this other one, and then let me listen to this other one. And that's the whole idea of the show. So
I feel you, man. I feel you.
Yeah, it's conversation. It's human to human. It's not band to interviewer, because I don't interview. I conversationist. I'm a conversationalist. There you go. That's a better way of looking at it.
It's a pressure off it too.
It really does, because I mean, it's about humanity. It really, really is. It's about the humanity of it.
At the end of the day, that's exactly what.
Exactly. So, speaking of the humanity of it, I think you guys probably heard it in the opening monologue of the show. I got an opportunity for you guys, and I want to throw it out there and see what you guys say. So at the beginning of the show, I think you guys heard me say that on December 11th, I'm doing a charity event for Toys for Tots. I've got 13 or 14 bands booked that are either doing like a live set or doing a pre-recorded set, and they're just sending it over to me. And I would love to offer you guys a spot on the show as well.
Oh, wow, man. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds awesome, and what a good cause too.
Yeah.
You know, during this time where everyone has stuff, and, you know, the folks that don't, it kind of like dents not just your ego, but it dents you as a person. It kind of like dings you, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's all for a good cause. I mean, all the money is going to go straight to Toys for Tots. I'm debating right now whether or not I want to just go ahead and just give all the money to them, or if I want to, take a bunch of people out and, go shopping for them or whatever else the case might be. I'm debating on that right now. But either way, it's going to go to Toys for Tots, 100% of it. Whether I do it with them and we go shopping with, Toys for Tots, or I just give them all the money. Either way, all of it's going to them. But it's for a good cause. It's going to be a fun fucking night. We're prepared based on the acts that we have right now and the comedians and everything else like that we've probably got 6 hours worth of content. And I'm only building it more and more and more, because the more content I have, the more likely I can reach that goal of $10,000 is what I'm trying to reach. And hopefully we can reach more, but $10,000 is the goal. And if I reach $10,000 before I run out of acts, then I'm just gonna, raise it to $15,000, and then we're gonna raise it to $20,000. I don't care, whatever it takes to get to the, the end of the night. I'm prepared to go, like I said, 8 hours, 12 hours. I don't give a shit, because it's all for the kids. I just want to have some fun, but on top of that, it'll give you guys a lot of national exposure and all this other stuff too. I mean, because it's gonna be, some of the surprise guests that I have, once they're announced, it's going to draw in a lot of attention. I'm surprised, put it this way, some of these people that I've asked to just, give me a 20 or 30-second clip of just saying, hey, how you doing? Donate for Toys for Tots, are actually doing it. So I'm like, oh, shit. And then the comedians that I got coming on, nothing's been announced yet as far as those types of bands. So unless I've asked them live on the air, nobody knows who's coming on. So, yeah. So right now it's just you. The only people that are 100% confirmed, are the ones that I asked live on the air. So everybody from this week so far that it was been a band has said yes. So, but yeah, I mean. Pretty much everybody on Earshot Media that I've interviewed is saying yes. So you guys can just go back through all my interviews and say, oh, so they'll be on it, they'll be on it, they'll be on it. So without announcing anything, just go back and listen to the last month of shows, and all the bands have pretty much said yes.
Yeah. And so so what do you need? I mean, I guess we could talk offline.
We'll talk
this.
No, we can talk about it here. I mean, I got nothing but time if you got it. But no, you guys can just set up an acoustic set or a full set, and you guys can either come on. We can do it live. I can give you a hard time, or you guys can pre-record it to make sure it sounds crisp and clean and everything else like that, and just send it over to me. And then I'll just play it that night, or however you guys want to do it. It's up to you.
Right, sure.
Man, yeah.
Sounds good. I got his email and all that. Yeah, so
we'll sort that out. That sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got about 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks to figure it out. So, I mean, it's still, there's still a lot of balls in the air with it. So we got plenty of time to figure it all out. And, but I really dig your sound and I really dig your cause. And,
same to you, man.
Yeah,
Same to
I
you.
really wanted you guys to be a part of this. I mean, I heard that song today. I'm like, yeah, I'm asking them too.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about, again, it's all about the kids.
Yep.
And this year has just been shitty for a lot of different people. And, mental health wise, I'm sure it's going to help a lot of parents mentally knowing that their kids are taken care of for Christmas. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a dual thing, take care of the parents and take care of the kids at the same time.
Yeah.
It's peace of mind,
Exactly. You guys are fucking amazing. I have had such a fucking blast talking to you guys. I mean, this is why I do this show. I mean, we talked mental health, we talked music, we talked this, we talked that. We had a lot of fun, and this is the whole idea behind this show. Nothing else matters as far as that goes,
Dude, good on you. It's been great, and it felt like a genuine connection. It's hard to get those in the industry, and so we appreciate you taking the time.
Hey, it's my pleasure. I've done now, more than, this is the 122nd official episode, but, including my old show before it transitioned. And, I used to do a music show on Saturdays. I mean, it's been 200 episodes roughly of me doing this. And it just gets better and better every day because of people like you. So thank you.
Hey, we feel the same way to you, man. We feel the same way to you, man. And thank you, too, for talking amongst, I guess, a group about mental health stuff, because I think that's like the best way to kind of like put it on the table and stuff like that, because appearances and all that type of stuff, they can like, it's really good, man, and I just appreciate that a lot from you. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. And then aside from the concert, the virtual concert, I hope that you guys get to go back on the road in the coming year. And I would love for you guys to head out this way, and I would love to fucking,
Yeah, shout out Virginia, man.
Yeah, we'll give you a shout when we're out there. Let us know what the venue is that we should hit up.
Yeah.
Well, if I have my way, I'll be booking for a venue here soon, so we'll see what that.
Hey, man. Yeah.
Awesome.
But again, guys, thank you so much. You guys are amazing, and I wish you all the best. Just hit me up on Facebook or Instagram, and we'll talk more about the show, okay?
Okay, right on. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Have a great night, man.
Hey, you too now. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys, and that's the show. Fucking A. Another band booked for this amazing concert, and another group of guys that are just fucking badass and raising awareness for the same things that I raise awareness for. And that's what the show's, again, is all about. Awareness, advocacy, and fun, and jokes, and everything else in between. So I truly, truly appreciate you guys being here and everything else in between. Please come back tomorrow, 8 p.m. East, 5 p.m. West, for a Friday edition of Suck It. Because, as always, we'll be having fun and I'll lead you into your weekend the right way. But until tomorrow, please, as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay fucking heavy. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.